He walked into the luxury hotel lobby, a black card in hand, carrying the power and prestige of billions. Yet the instant he approached the front desk, something felt off. The staff's smirks, the subtle glances, the almost imperceptible hesitation, it wasn't about the reservation. They didn't see the CEO. They saw the color of his skin. The tension thickened as he swiped the card, and the reaction was immediate. A laugh, a comment, a dismissal. Would this simple gesture cost him everything, or force the world to confront a harsh truth about privilege, bias, and respect? Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Adrian Brooks was not just a businessman. He was a visionary who had built his empire from nothing. A self-made billionaire, he had faced countless obstacles but never allowed setbacks to define him. Travel was part of his life, airports, meetings, hotels, but it was always business, continuously routine. Today, he was in this city to finalize a $500 million merger, one that could define his company's future. The hotel he entered was known for hosting the elite, the powerful, and those accustomed to absolute respect. As Adrian approached the front desk, briefcase in hand, he expected smooth professionalism. But subtle signs of judgment greeted him instead. Whispers, sidelong glances, and forced smiles suggested that his worth was being measured not by achievements, but by his skin. A storm was brewing, and Adrian knew that what started as a check-in could turn into a defining moment of his life. The check-in began smoothly, or so it seemed. Then the clerk asked to see Adrian's black card, a procedure that was unusual but was initially brushed off. As he handed it over, the clerk's eyes widened in disbelief, quickly followed by a smirk. A colleague whispered something, barely audible, but enough to make Adrian's stomach tighten. They chuckled, unaware he could see. Nearby staff paused, watching with smirks and amusement. Adrian's patience, tested by years of subtle prejudice, began to fray. The black card, a symbol of status and trust, was being mocked simply because of his race. Tension mounted as the clerk scrutinized every detail, questioning its authenticity, a suspicion he would never show a white client. Other guests sensed the discomfort. Phones subtly tilted, capturing the incident. Adrian, usually calm and diplomatic, felt a surge of frustration. His $500 million deal, built over years of negotiation and strategy, was now overshadowed by petty bias. In that lobby, the subtle racism was no longer subtle. It threatened his reputation and his work. Should he stay silent, swallow his anger, or act decisively? Every second felt like a test of patience, dignity, and resolve. In a decisive moment, Adrian acted. He stepped back from the counter, held his head high, and canceled the $500 million deal outright. Silence swept through the lobby. Phones recording, jaws dropped. The laughter died instantly as the staff realized the cost of their bias. Adrian did not shout or argue. He walked away, leaving stunned employees and bewildered guests in his wake. The power of dignity and self-respect had spoken louder than any negotiation ever could. In that moment, the realization hit the staff. Their prejudice had consequences beyond embarrassment. The culmination of years of effort, negotiations, and trust evaporated in a single act. Adrian's silent yet forceful response showed that respect cannot be demanded lightly, and bias carries a tangible, unavoidable cost. The world watched, unspoken, as a simple moment of discrimination turned into a lesson in courage, accountability, and power. Adrian left the hotel not just with a canceled deal, but with a clear message. Respect is not optional, and prejudice has consequences. The story rippled across the business world, a stark reminder that talent, achievement, and integrity cannot be dismissed based on skin color. Adrian's actions were more than personal vindication. They were a public lesson in courage and dignity. Millions facing discrimination saw that standing firm can force institutions to acknowledge bias and that self-respect can outweigh financial gain. The incident sparked conversations in boardrooms and offices worldwide about subtle racism and accountability. Adrian's example reinforced that power is not only wealth or status. It is choosing to confront injustice with composure and determination. How many more will face such moments and choose dignity over compromise? Please tell us where you are watching from, what city, what country, and share your thoughts on the courage it takes to demand respect and equality in every space, no matter how elite. Take care